So thank you again for joining us. So the agenda for the meeting, we will start with introductions, and then we will go through the workshop schedule and grant opportunities. We will discuss the general rules and highlights, the open competition categories, the exhibition rules, and then we'll stop there for a Q&A for the general and exhibition. And then we're going to go through the game rules, and then we'll do another Q&A and wrap up at that point. So this year, the Robofest staff, we have Dr. Chris Cartwright, Professor of Mathematics, is the Director of Robofest. Elmer Santos is our Assistant Director. I am a full-time coordinator, and Pam Sparks is the part-time coordinator, but my right hand, I couldn't do it without her. And Professor CJ Chung, who is also on this webinar, I think he's still with us. There is a professor of computer science. He is the founder of Robofest and the advisory board chairperson. We would also like to mention Marilyn Wiseman, our math and computer science department administrative assistant, and she does all the good stuff for us as far as purchasing and personnel. So thank you for everything, Marilyn. Our student assistants this year, we have Giovanni DeRose, Robert Newberry, Scotty Rapp, Anthony Shevnock, and Nicholas Sparks. We would also like to thank our sponsors: Michigan Council of Women in Technology Foundation, KLA, RoboMatter, IBM, IEEE, and NDIA. If you would like to sponsor Robofest, that information is available on our website. Just go to the sponsor page and you can fill out an application. We have scheduled some workshops this year. We have 3 different workshops, each offered 2 different times: Vex IQ with Vex Code, Lego EV3 with Scratch, and Lego Spike Prime with Python. So depending on which platform you'd like to use or which programming language you'd like to learn, these are open to registered game teams. Pre-registration is currently open. So if you're interested in attending a workshop, please register your team for the game event first, and then you can register for a workshop. These are held in the Robofest lab on LTU campus, and after they're done, if you're a registered game team, we can send you recordings and the presentations if you would like to receive those. We would love to thank MCWT once again for sponsoring Robofest all-female teams for Gamer Exhibition. They are offering 10 $500 grants for all-female teams. The funds can be used for anything: equipment, registration fees, travel expenses, anything you need, t-shirts. The application will be available on their website soon, mcwt.org. And then if you just go through and find the robotics grants, just search robotics grants in the web search. So at this time, I'm going to switch to the general rules highlights. So I'm going to do a highlights of the general rules. I imagine most everyone here today is a little familiar with how the general rules work. However, if you're not familiar with that and you'd like to reach out after this meeting is over, I can go through them with you. This document can be found on the Robofest website under Get Involved 2023 main page. So like I said, this is the complete table of contents. I will be going over the overview and schedule, categories and competition formats, registration and fees, and then advancing to the World Championship. So if you're interested in anything else that's in this document, please review it at your leisure. Any changes to this document will be posted to the Robofest website, and coaches are responsible for communicating any rule updates to their participants. So the overview and schedule for Robofest's 2023 season. Robofest was founded in 1999 by Dr. CJ Chung, Professor of Math and Computer Science at LTU. It's a festival of competitions with autonomous robots, offering students the opportunity to master the principles of STEAM, as well as computer science, communication, critical thinking, teamwork, and problem-solving skills while designing, constructing, and programming robots. We have reached over 32,600 students in the past 24 years, including teams from 14 states and over 25 countries. Our mission is to generate excitement and interest among young people for science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, and computer science. We want to develop essential skills such as teamwork, leadership, creativity, communication, and problem solving, and prepare students to excel in higher education and technological careers. We have many features of Robofest, the main feature being that we are 100% autonomous. The robots require sensors. We do allow any robot platform and any programming language for most categories. We encourage small teams with a maximum of 5 students per team, but the average is 3. We have dynamic, challenging playing fields, unknown factors, and no direct help from adults. We recognize all participants. We have 2 different age divisions for most categories, and we consider ourselves very affordable by allowing teams to reuse old kits. All of our game parts are off the shelf, and the team only we charge $75 for registration fees. We offer a variety of competition categories, and we definitely hold ourselves accountable by sending surveys to participants before and after the competition to measure the success of the program. We do offer a Lawrence Technological University Scholarship for team members who choose to attend LTU. They may apply for a $3,000 annual renewable scholarship for a total of $12,000. The submission deadline is April 1st. The schedule for the 2023 Robofest season, we kicked off our initial rules in October, and this is the second of 3 kickoff meetings. Our 3rd kickoff meeting will be held in January. And then on January 7th, we will publish the final rules documents. January through March, technical workshops in person and online. January through April, the international teams will get started with qualifiers, and then the US teams will start with their qualifiers in late February. On February 11th, we will host a judge training event for game on the LTU campus. So if there's any teams in the area that are ready to go on that date, we would love to have them participate. On April 17th, we will require the video qualifier submissions teams to submit their deadlines, as well as the submission for virtual regional screening for US exhibition teams. On April 20th, everyone gets notified if they have advanced from that group. April 20 and 21, Michigan Invitational events hosted at Lawrence Tech. And then May 11th, 12th, and 13th, we'll be back in the field house and all over campus for the Robofest World Championship events here at Lawrence Tech. Categories and competition formats. The 2023 qualifier categories this year, game and exhibition. This year's game is called Supply Chain Challenge. And then the exhibition, these will require teams to advance from a qualifier. The open categories for US teams and international member countries are Unknown Mission Challenge, Bottle Sumo, Robo Arts, Robo Parade, and Robo Med. Again, all of this information is available on the website, so if I'm going quickly, please just refer to that as you can. Registration and fees. Our registration fees are paid to Lawrence Tech Robofest. A separate fee is applied to each event. Site hosts may request additional site check-in fees to cover costs. We do not allow refunds, and game and exhibition teams who advance to the Robofest World Championship will pay a separate World Championship registration fee. So the event format, qualifier in person, are hosted by US hosts, and the materials will be presented to the teams at the event. For qualifier video submission, they're hosted by the Robofest office, and the teams will automatically receive their items, their certificates, medals, and any awards that they receive after the event is completed. If we do need any online qualifiers, some hosts may choose to host an online qualifier. The host will automatically ship those materials to the team. And then the open events in person, which the $75 may differ for sites, will be presented to the teams at the event. So each event is $75, but the open events may have a different site fee or a different fee for local events, but the World Championship open events will be $75. For international teams, some international site hosts may have a completely different fee structure, but this applies if the registration fee is paid directly to Florence Tech. We will not provide refunds. Sites may request additional site check-in fees, and teams who advance the Robofest World Championship will pay a separate registration fee to the Robofest department. So again, qualifiers in person or video submission, online and in person is all $75 per event. So the World Championship, as I mentioned, that's another event registration fee paid directly to Robofest, and it's applied to each category, including the game and exhibition finals. Advancing to the World Championship. So for US teams outside of Michigan, all first place award-winning game and exhibition teams and possibly others based on their scores will advance directly from their in-person, online, or video qualifier directly to the World Championship events. For those game or exhibition teams that would like a second chance to qualify, there will be the video qualifier open to them, which is due April 17th. And then all exhibition teams must submit a video for us to screen, and we might again advance additional teams based on their scores. For the open categories, registration is first come, first serve. So please join our e-news for notification of the date of opening for each category. Teams advancing to the World Championship from Michigan, it's a little bit different. Again, first place award-winning teams for game and exhibition will advance from the Michigan qualifiers directly to the Robofest World Championship events. Game teams may also attempt a second chance during the invitational qualifiers on April 21st and 22nd. Game or exhibition teams may submit a video qualifier for a second chance due April 17th, and all exhibition teams must submit a video for screening for the virtual regional. Open categories, again, first come, first serve for the World Championship events. Advancing to the World Championships from international teams. Each member country will have their own international qualifiers or select teams for any open categories that they would like to send. They might not host, for example, a Bottle Sumo event, but they may select Bottle Sumo teams that were attending their qualifier for other events. For non-member countries, international video qualifier is open for registration. If you would like to submit a video for that, you will receive your unknown factors for game, or you can submit a video for exhibition. The due date for that is April 17th. Or you can contact the Robofest office if you would like to register for the open categories, and the registration will be open for those teams for non-member countries in springtime. Here's the quota for the advancing to the World Championship international teams. So any game or exhibition event in a member country, if they have 5 teams, we do request 5 minimum. Up to 49 teams, they can advance 1 team. If they have more than 49, if they have 50 or more, they can advance 2. And this is per category, per division. For open categories, if they have 1 through 39, they can send 1, 40 through 99, they can send 2. If they have 100 or more, they can send 3 teams to an open category event. And like I mentioned, open category teams may also be selected from teams participating in other categories. So that is the end of the general rules. As I mentioned, the general rules are on the web page if you'd like to review them. So we're going to go back to the kickoff presentation. Sure. You know what? Let's take a quick little break while my photographer is here. I'm going to stop my share. So if anybody's on is everybody in that wants to be in? Because if everyone could turn on their camera.
So I couldn't input the attendees.
Oh.
I wasn't given that.
You should be able to, but okay. So if there's anyone on the attendees side that would like to come in,
You could just, you know,
we can send an invitation to you. We're gonna take a little break and do a group photo because our photographer is we don't want to keep her here till the end. So I'm going to send you an invitation to promote you to panelists. If you would like to come over, we're going to give you just a minute or two, and then we're going to take a photo with everyone on here and online. So we could all stand.
That's probably gonna be the hardest to get a clear picture.
Okay.
And like, so this screen would be better.
Okay,
You stand in front of this one.
here, let me turn this screen, let me turn my video off real quick.
Yeah, the people were actually really like stand.
Yeah, so we're gonna stand up and so turn on, if you're in the panelists and you want to get in the picture, just turn on your video. So I want to stop my video,
right, so we're gonna.
and then we're gonna take a quick picture, and then I'll get back to the presentation. Thank you for the.
It's okay if you're in jail once for the-
This monitor.
Where do you want? Let me,
It's
Okay.
TV.
all right, let me turn off.
That's crowded over there.
Okay, yep.
Probably over here.
All right,
Hey, watch the cords.
watch the chorus, please. So give us one more moment, and then we're gonna go back to the presentation. Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Come on, Betty. Okay.
No, Matt. Oh, Matt's going in here now?
Yeah, that's part of,
That's what he said?
he's part of the team.
I'm occasionally the MC, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Learn something new. This is the most interesting group photo I've ever seen. Okay.
All right, thank you.
What do I call this, by platform or?
Of course I will.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lindsay. All right. Thank you for that little break. Okay, we're gonna start back to, where was I?
Kickoff.
Right, the general rules.
I did, okay, so we're going to come here, and then we're going to do open competition, category highlights. So this year we are hosting the open category Bottle Sumo. There are no changes from last year, but if you're new to Bottle Sumo, there are 3 age divisions. The object is to push the robot intentionally, the first robot to intentionally push a bottle off the table or be the last robot remaining on the table. So you either try to push a bottle off or your opponent off the table. There are junior, senior classic, and senior unlimited. The junior and senior classic have limits on which robot platforms can be used. So the unlimited is open to any robot platform. The maximum team size is 3, and the rules can be found on the Robofest website under Get Involved Bottle Sumo. The Unknown Mission Challenge is like a computer science final exam, we love to call that. It's where students come to the event with a completely assembled robot, basically a box of parts. They are given about 2 hours to build and program a robot to meet a challenge that they know nothing about. We do limit it to Lego NXT, Lego EV3, Spike Prime, or Vex IQ kits, but any language can be used. The maximum team size is 4, and the rules are on the UMC page. Robo Arts is an exhibition style project that's focused on the visual and performing arts. There are 2 age divisions, junior and senior, maximum team size of 5. RoboMed is an exhibition style project of intelligent and interactive biomedical devices or biomedical, anything related to the biomedical or healthcare fields. It must use sensors and or actuators. We're promoting the entrepreneurial mindset with this event. So description with information about opportunity recognition or value creation are encouraged. We've introduced a new age division for RoboMed this year. So juniors, seniors, and college division. This is the only event with the college component. With a maximum team size of 5, and the rules are on the RoboMed page. Robo Parade, where robots are constructed and programmed by students to follow a parade route, detect other robots, and stop and start without human help. This year, the World Championship event theme is animation. Any animated movies or cartoons, Saturday morning, Bugs Bunny, Disney, anything along those lines, they can, students can even design their own animation if they'd like. The robots will pull or carry a decorative float. So moving parts are allowed and encouraged. There's one age division, junior, 4th through 8th grade. There's no age waiver needed for a 4th grader to play in this division. And it's perfect for beginners with a max team size of 5. Exhibition. Teams, this is a qualifier. Teams must have complete freedom to show off any type of intelligent robotics project. They can solve any problem they'd like to solve with robots. With 2 age divisions, junior and senior, there's no recommended theme. Robots must employ sensors, and we encourage robot to robot or robot to human interaction. We do not allow wireless controlled remotes unless the program of the remote controller is written by the students. The space allowed for this project is 64 square feet, including a 6 or 8 foot table, which is provided by the site host. Each team has to give a 4-minute presentation, an official presentation, including the demo, and the team is responsible for keeping the time. We recommend teams share their online videos, and they also must prepare a video in order to advance to the World Championship if they do not win an award at their qualifier. The judging rules and rubric can be found on the exhibition website. We do not grade math and science theories, which are not age appropriate. So, I mean, we want students to do the math and science theories at their own level. So we're not, if students are doing math and science that is way above their grade level, it's not an advantage for them for this rubric. We do allow 1 team member, but they will get the lowest score for teamwork. So here's the rubric, the top of the page. And the second half of the rubric. So we're going to do general Q&A at this point for open categories and exhibition. Are there any questions from the chat, Pam?
No.
Nope.
Done a
Okay,
Good job.
awesome. All right, so now we're going to turn it over to Elmer. He's going to go through the game rules. I'm going to share my screen, but Elmer's going to do the talking this time. So let me grab the. Can everyone see that? Hold on, let me see. Let me just start over. I want to make sure everyone's got the game. There we go. All right.
That's good now.
Here.
So you can see.
Just make sure this is.
All right, everyone, thanks for joining us. I am happy to present the 2023 game Supply Chain Challenge. Here's a scenario. Supply chain is broken, the port is jammed up, the stores are empty, and there are many obstacles. Autonomous robots are needed to clear the obstacles, bring order to the port, and restock the store. For junior division, the location of objects will be unveiled at the start of the 30-minute work time. For senior division, some locations will be unknown until after the impound. Additional tasks and objects may be added for the World Championship. Here's some more detail. Basically, this is the before, and this is the after for maximum points. You are to move all the cans into the port, and stack them in a designated order for maximum points. 2 minutes. Or remove the obstacles, which are the batteries. Move the tennis balls to the store, which is here. I think that's it. Yeah, all tasks must be done autonomously, a 2-minute maximum, and then unknown tasks and factors will be unveiled. These are some examples of those. As in previous years, there's 2 divisions: junior grades 5 to 8 and senior grades 9 to 12. Maximum team size of 5. $75 registration fee for both the local qualifier and for the World Championship. And more details in the general rules. Next up, we have a little demonstration of what the game looks like.
Do that.
Yeah.
The other one?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me. We're gonna show the video, just one moment.
Okay, hopefully that gave you a better idea of how the game works. And that's just one example of how you could approach it. All right, so back to the rules. This is the playing field. A large variety of objects this year. A lot of potential unknown factors. We basically have 6. I'd like everyone to note that there are some objects that are fixed in their location, such as this battery and a couple of tennis balls. The rest of them will vary in at least one dimension. And then differences between junior division and senior division. The game ending task will tend to be easier for junior, harder for senior. The location of cans and the stack order unveiled before work time for both. Same thing with the location of the balls. However, the batteries, a couple of them will be unveiled after impound for seniors. So the senior will have to have the flexibility to deal with that. Onboard computer controllers, only one is allowed for junior, and there's no limit for senior. And then vision sensors, they are not allowed for junior, but allowed for senior. And again, these last 2 are meant to help assure that the appropriate level is used at each division. Next, I'd like to talk a little bit more about the game materials. The playing field, similar to previous years, a 6-foot plastic folding table. The store, it's going to be 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters inside dimension, flush with the top of the table, and made of either Lego parts or VexIQ parts or something similar. Cans, they're going to be 3 empty beverage cans. Size 330 to 360 milliliters. The US spec cans, which are, I think, the larger ones, will be the ones used for the World Championship. Cans will be covered by paper, construction paper, white, black, or red. And ballast will be added to get them in the range of 60 to 100 grams. Balls will be 3 tennis balls of any color. Obstacles will be 3 D-sized batteries. And then hole reinforcement stickers will be used to mark locations of objects, and black electrical tape to mark the boundaries of the port and the starting zone.
Oops. Okay.
I
I clicked the link, sorry. All right. Let's go back. There we go. That's what we're getting with two.
Is it working on Canvas Monitor? It looks like we're still.
I think this is what's going on. Okay.
Not advancing.
Okay.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay. Here's some more detail on the store construction. Again, can be made up of Lego beams flush with the table. So it's going to vary depending on how thick your table is, but we want it flush or close to it. Here's an example using Vex beams. Here's some more detail on how to do the cans. We want the paper taped to the can and then wrapped around and taped along the seam to make it secure. We'd like the tabs to be removed or flattened, so to help assure the cans can be stacked. And then some examples of ballast here. And then the actual weight will be unveiled at the competition. Okay, robot specifications. Similar to previous years, robots must be constructed by the students. Any robot kit material may be used. Maximum size is 35 centimeters by 35 centimeters by 35 centimeters, and that includes expansion. No weight limitation, any number of sensors, other than the vision rule we just went over. Any number of motors. And then we have our standard labeling requirements, and we would like to have a display screen available for the end gaming a game ending test that may require robots to display. Okay, I'm not going to go into this in detail. These are carryover from previous years, how we do violations, resets, and the round. Yeah, please make sure to read through that. They're essentially similar to previous years. Okay, next I would like to go through some examples of unknown tasks and factors. So for example, in this example, we're unveiling the start orientation, which is facing east. Object locations are shown in the table. Stack order, red at the bottom, white in the middle, black at the top, and then game ending mission. Robot must be stopped with the sensor positioned over the south edge of the table. So that's a junior example. Just for comparison, senior, similar, except for the E and F dimensions are not unveiled. Right, you just know a range, and teams will have to just practice with different values within that range. Everything's similar. This is sort of an example of a potentially harder game ending task. Positioned over the east edge of the field, but then also display the answer to this equation. It's just for an example. So that's how a senior would work. And in senior, they would be given this sheet, go through the work time, and afterwards the hosts would unveil the remaining locations according to the instructions. Scoring cans to be considered in the port. Circular projection of the can must be past the outside boundary. This is kind of an edge condition here in this picture. Stacked the bottom can is touching the table, and then cans are touching each other only at the top or bottom of the can. And stacked in order, basically the order must match the order specified in the unknown task and factor sheet for maximum score. Balls to be scored, they must be touching the floor inside of the store perimeter. Batteries to be scored, not touching the table, then moved. The location of the sticker must be completely visible. So we tried to make these as easy as possible for the judges to score the rounds. Here's an example of this year's scorecard. It's organized basically by location. First, you look at the cans and the port. If the cans are stacked in the proper order, it's 30 points. If they're stacked but not in order, it's 22. If two of them are stacked, it's 15. If they're in the port but not stacked, you get 5 points apiece. And if they're moved but not in the port, it's 3 points apiece. And then there's a penalty if there are objects other than cans in the port, -3 per object. Next, look at the balls in the store. Each one in the store is worth 8 points. Each one moved is worth 4. Other objects, that's a 3-point penalty. Batteries, they're either removed for 8 points apiece, or still on the table but moved for 5 points apiece. Game ending mission is achieved, 10 points. Robot remains intact throughout the run, that's 12 points. Resets will be -3. And then if the score is 100, we're going to use time as a tiebreaker. And the example of the scorecard is available on the our webpage. Okay, lastly, just want to go through some frequently asked questions. First question, a player failed in starting the robot. Can the player retouch the robot to start it? Yes. It will not be considered a rerun, but the timer will continue to run. Next question, the robot is touching objects at the end of the run. Is this okay? Yes. The object will be scored the same as if there was no contact with the robot. Next question, what if a tennis ball ends over the location sticker of a battery at the end of the run? How is it scored? Okay, this one's a little tricky, but we're saying objects that end over the location of a different type of object will be scored as moved, because you can tell that they were actually moved from their original location. However, the object is not considered moved if it ends on top of the sticker of another object of the same type, and that sticker is not visible. And again, we're trying to make it as easy as possible to judge. That's why we're doing it this way. The next question, is a color sensor needed to sort the cans? The answer is no. Although a color sensor may be helpful, enough information is available to not require that sensor. Also, a light sensor can be used to differentiate the cans if color sensors are not available. Next question is part of the robot allowed to be dropped off from the robot and left? The answer is yes. The robot may be designed to leave parts with the objects and it will not be penalized. However, such a feature should be disclosed during the inspection. And then, we've had a couple of new ones since our original kickoff. Can we use red tape to cover the can, or is it only red paper? The answer is paper is preferred, but regional directors can modify the materials for the competition to accommodate availability. And just to note that red, black, and white paper will be used at the World Championship. And lastly, is there a limit to the number of controllers in the robot game? Like, for example, can I use 2 Spike Prime hubs? And this is covered by the controller rule. A junior division is limited to 1 controller. However, for senior division, there's no limit for controllers. And I think the question was asked last time, what if a junior team would like to use more than 1 controller? And basically, if they could ask for a waiver to play in the senior division. Because again, we feel that's another level of sophistication. So if they're that good, they probably can do well in the senior division. All right, so that's basically it for the new game rules. I guess it's time for questions.
If you want to go ahead and either use the raise hand or type in chat or just turn on your microphone and ask if you will. There's not that many folks online here. If you would still like to come over from the attendees side at this time, if to join us as a panelist so we can see your face, just use the raise hand function if you're in the attendees. So are any questions? Let's go ahead and open
I
the
have a
floor.
question. I have a question about robot specification. Is a robot must be created by students, and if a team is identified to have a robot too similar to another robot, that when you have a school or an organization that has more than one team, that robots might be similar, quite similar.
Yeah, I think similar is okay. But
Well, I'm being what you call polite.
Right.
I think it's similar is a good word.
Yeah, similar is okay, identical is not okay.
yeah, I know it's kind of difficult, but I think it
We want the students to do
Yeah.
their own work. I mean, if they're collaborating, that's awesome, but each team should have some independence and their own flair. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Blatant. It was just like blatant, I guess they could look
Yeah,
at the
right,
code or
right.
something.
right. If it's clear that the students really don't know how to operate or how the robot really works, that's going to be a problem. But
Yeah.
if they can demonstrate that they own the design, they can run it, they can fix it. Yeah, I think it should be okay.
I guess the judge will be able to
Yeah, that's the kind of
This
thing we're going to be looking for.
yeah.
And I hope not to get to that point. That rule is more intended as a warning.
Yeah,
If it's a game competition, the judges don't actually go and look at that intricate part of the code and stuff. They don't have time for that, do they?
No, unfortunately, we don't.
well, if it comes to if there's a question about it, we might. Especially at the finals. I mean, but hopefully, I mean, because of the limits now of we are limiting our international partners this
Sure.
year because of space and because we still want to make sure everyone's comfortable and we don't want to crowd 1 million people in the gym again this year. We're kind of easing back into it. So, there will probably be fewer teams where multiple teams from one location are present. But that's just, we just want to make sure that everyone is doing as much of their own learning as possible.
Yeah, and that's the intent of the unknown
Mm-hmm.
task and factors. It's a bit of a surprise rule, to use a term from another competition. And I think that does bring out, kind of show whether you actually really know your code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our intent.
Also, what is scoring objects?
Oh, basically the objects that can get you points, like tennis balls, batteries, and cans.
Scoring objects are allowed.
Any object on the table is considered a scoring object.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Had me puzzled there.
Okay, I see a hand raised. Would you
Oh,
like
I see what you're saying. Okay.
to turn on your video or your audio and ask the question?
I am
Diane?
not
Merced?
Diane is over here.
Hi,
Anyway,
Diane.
I just wanted to make a clarification on vision sensors, because last year my students were really reluctant to use the light sensors or the color.
Hey, no, we're
sensors
talking
in
about
the-
cameras.
You're talking about cameras.
Yeah.
Now, just a slight addition to that. Would it be possible to attach focusing elements to the light sensor, specifically like a little telephoto lens made out of standard parts? That would give a focus to, and basically give you more of a narrow beam reception for the light
Yeah, I think
reflected
that's.
off.
Did
So
you
it's
get
almost like a visual radar light, but
Yeah,
no.
yeah, it's not really, using
Yeah.
like a sophisticated, vision algorithm or,
No, I'm not talking about using any of the.
yeah, yeah, no, that would be okay.
Okay, good, thank you. And a last question, in the exhibition one for, you're just coming up with weird and wonderful things to show. Would it be forbidden to have the robot fly?
We are, we aren't sure if we're allowed to have drones in there. I mean, there's like FCC regulations, and our university is still kind of working that through. We have some classes that are doing drones, but because of the safety, I mean, everybody around you has to have eye protection and things like that. So let me get back to you on that. I don't want to say
Okay.
yes or no, but we need to find out what the university is able to allow at this point. And because it's going to be a very crowded area, I mean, they only have 4 minutes. We can't send everybody outside. It's just, one of those things. So
Yeah, no, we understand those are becoming popular
yeah,
projects.
Something that would lift off about a foot from the top of the table and stay within the boundary of the table surface.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out whether something is allowed or whether it would be restricted to like a demonstration video or something.
Yeah,
And well, that would work too, because some of the
Yeah, but
kids.
we understand the more live, the better.
mhm.
But yeah, we're constraints as well.
Yeah, it's a question of the regulations. We don't want to get anybody like injured or sued. So it's all new. Any other
Okay.
questions? That's a good one though. We've actually talked about that a little bit, and we're like, should we include this in the rules? And we're like, no, we're just gonna wait and see if somebody comes up in the question, and there you have it.
Right, but if somebody has their heart set on doing a drone, they can always show the video and then show the robot that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, do a static review.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That would work
Brian?
better probably.
Okay, thank you very much for that question.
Can you provide the link to the Women in Technologies group?
Yes, it will be in this page when I upload the presentation.
Okay,
It's not open yet, but if you go to their mcwt.org and just type in robo or robotics grants or something, it'll take you there. But yes, that link is in the presentation. I will be uploading the presentation probably tomorrow morning to the website.
okay, because we have a small all girls team this year, so I'm trying
Great.
to like to get them into that.
Very good, very good. Yeah, we want to fill them up. We want to get 10 teams this year because we want to make MCWT happy by using all their money. So the more women's teams in Michigan, the better. Any other questions? If there are no other questions in chat, it doesn't look like it. We will be updating, adding the questions if they're different, and we'll address those. We'll be uploading all of the updated rules as well as the recording of this video, so you can watch it back or you can share it with others that might have been able, not been able to come today. So right now I'm going to stop recording.